Hello friends, today we are going to continue chapter number 4, Literary Heritage of India, lecture number 8. Friends, up to now in this chapter we have discussed how language and literature came into existence. Friends, we discussed in the previous part that when these language and literatures were not developed, people used the gestures, facial expressions, drawings, symbols as the first form of communications. But later on, when dialects and scripts were invented, then thousands of literature came into existence all over the world. And different languages came, which became an important medium for communication for all the people. Friends, we discussed in this chapter about the different Vedas, that is Rigved, Samved, Yajurved and Atharvaved. How these Vedas means knowledge. This provides the different knowledge about each and every field of our life. Friends, we also discussed about the different development of languages during different periods through different great poets and lots of literary artists. Friends, today we are going to learn about the different universities that taught about that gave the knowledge to the different people all over the world, that were well-known universities. Let us start by understanding from Nalanda University. Ancient universities. Nalanda University. Friends, starting from Nalanda University, let us start with the structure of Nalanda University. When we talk about the structure of this Nalanda University, the ancient Nalanda University was situated at Badgaon village. It was situated at Badgaon village of Patna district in Bihar. Patna district in Bihar. The university was divided, the whole Nalanda University was divided into 7 huge halls, or we can say rooms or sections. 7 rooms or 7 sections also it can be said. There were 300 rooms for delivering lectures. There were more than 300 rooms in Nalanda University. Special monasteries were built. Monasteries means where the students used to live. Like at the present time we have hostels. At that time there were monasteries. Special monasteries were built so that students could stay in the university, so that the students can stay in the university. Many villages were donated to the university. Many villages were donated to the university so that it could survive, so that it could survive. Teach maximum students and can flourish, and so that it can flourish. For that purpose, lots of people had donated many villages, so that from that villages this university can flourish. Whatever the university earned from the donation, whatever the university earned from the donation, here it is said, it used to spend it. It used to spend it for the free food and clothing, for the free food and clothing facilities for the students. Whatever the university earned from these villages, they used to spend that all thing, that all profits for the food and clothing facilities of the students. The area where the books were kept, the areas where the books were kept was known as Dharamganj. It was known as Dharamganj. Like at the present time we have libraries where the books are kept. Same way, at that time in the Nalanda University where the books were kept, that was known as Dharamganj. This was the structure of the university. How the structure was there of university. Now let us understand about the teaching and philosophy of this university. Now friends, about the teaching and the philosophy. Now the teaching and philosophy of this Nalanda University, if we talk during 5th to 11th century BC, during 5th to 11th century BC, Nalanda was very reputed. It was very reputed center for learning. It was very reputed center for learning. Nalanda gave more importance to Buddhist as well as Jain traditions. Buddhist as well as Jain traditions. Here it is said, Mahavir Swami, if we talk about Mahavir Swami, had performed Mahavir Swami had performed 14 Chaturmas here that it means in Nalanda University. Hence, this ancient university became important pilgrim place for Jains. For the Jains, it became an important pilgrim place. In the 5th century, if we talk about, here it is said in the 5th century, Kumargupta built a monastery. He built a monastery since then. The fame of Nalanda increased. After that, the fame of Nalanda increased. Here it is said that the university had collections of thousands of priceless manuscripts. Thousands of priceless manuscripts were also present over here in this university. The university had based education as well as books. This university had the best education as well as the books. Such was the glory of Nalanda that its students, such was the glory of Nalanda that its students were considered the ideal students. They were considered the ideal students of India. They were considered the ideal students of India. Nalanda was a pious place. Nalanda was a pious place of Indian culture. It was a pious place of Indian culture. Let me say, students from various parts of the country as well as from the world used to come here for study and research. Lots of students from different parts of the country as well as the world, they used to come here for studies. as well as for doing researches. The great traveler that is Yun Sen came from China to study at Nalanda in the 7th century. The great traveler Yu Sheng, he came from China to study over here in Nalanda University in the 7th century. While returning, he took 657 books from this university. He took 657 books for further study and research from this university. Today, this great university exists in ruins. It totally exists in ruins. But amidst the ruins, one can visualize the glorious culture of India. Still we can see our glorious culture of India in this university. So friends, here was the information about Nalanda University. Now let us understand about the Kashi. Before Kashi, let us understand about Takshashila Vidyapith. Now about Takshashila Vidyapith. When friends now about Takshashila Vidyapith. Ancient University of Takshashila was located, it was located at Rawalpindi, which is presently in Pakistan. Takshashila was the capital of ancient Gandhar region. It was the capital of ancient Gandhar region. It is believed that its name. It is believed that Takshashila, it got its name after the name of Taksha, after the name of Taksh, that is the son of Bharat, brother of Lord Rama, born in Raghukul, that are born in Raghukul. Takshashila is named after the name of Taksha, the son of Bharat, who was the brother of Lord Ram. And they were born in Raghukul. Here it is said that Takshashila was a renowned center of learning during the 7th century. During the 7th century, the university imparted education. This university imparted education in 64 subjects. It imparted education in 64 subjects. The subjects included the teaching of Vedas, then military science, then Gaj Vidya, archery, grammar, philosophy, war, the war, astronomy, astrology, etc. These were some of the subjects in which this Takshashila Vidyapit used to give education. The students were free to study the subjects of their own interests. Students were free to study the subjects of their own interest. Then here it is said, the teacher-student ratio was 1:20. Every one teacher, 20 students were allowed. So the teacher-student ratio was 1:20. Every 20 students, one teacher was used to allowed. Most of the students stayed at the ashram. Most of the students, they used to stay at the ashram to study and practice with Guru, as well as for practicing with Guru. Jivak, the disciple of Lord Buddha. Jivak, the disciple of Lord Buddha, studied Ayurveda at तक्षशिला. The disciple, शिष्य जिसे हम कहते हैं, the student, Jivak, the disciple, that is the student of Lord Buddha. He studied Ayurveda at this Takshashila University. Then here it is said that the great Chanakya, who wrote Arthashastra, the great Chanakya who wrote Arthashastra, and who was the mentor of Chandragupta and was the mentor of Chandragupta Maurya, also studied here. Even Chanakya studied in this Takshashila Vidyapith. Then here it is said, moreover, students from distant places, moreover, the students from distant places like Varanasi, Rajgruha, then Mithila and Ujjain, Mithila and Ujjain used to visit here for studying. They used to visit here for studying purpose. Then Prince of Varanasi, Prasenjit, the Prince of Varanasi, Prasenjit, the King of Kausal, the great grammarian Panini, the great grammarian Panini, they all studied here. They all studied over here. Chinese scholar if we talk about the Chinese scholar, Fa Hing visited Takshashila. Fa Hing also visited Takshashila in the beginning of 5th century. In the beginning of 5th century. So friends, this was the information about Takshashila Vidyapith. You can understand how important this all Vidyapith and this Nalanda University was during the ancient ancient time. Lots of scholars, like we understood the great Chanakya, then Jiva, as well as here we can see the mentor of Chandragupta Maurya, Chanakya studied over here, as well as we can see the people from distant places, the prince of Varanasi, Prasenjit, king of Kausal, the great grammarian Panini, these all studied in this Vidyapit, Takshashila Vidyapit. This shows the importance of the study and the importance of this Vidyapit. Now we learn about the other in our next lecture. Thank you.